Sunrise over the Petone foreshore. June the 14th, 2008, dawns with a light breeze and scudding cloud, to reveal a flat, steel-grey sea and a quiet morning. Here on the foreshore, approximately 120 people from all over the Diocese of Wellington have gathered to celebrate, in pilgrimage, 150 years of Anglican worship in this area. We begin at the Iona Cross, gathering for a short service of remembrance and thanksgiving before our walk up the Hutt River to Trentham. The service begins with a mihi by Reverend Jean Malcolm, who outlines the program for the day. This is followed by a welcome from Bishop Tom Brown, then by the Sesqui prayer and colleagues for the day. Councillor Ross Jamieson reads from a letter describing an early church service at Petone,
and which had brought them safely across the mighty deep.
Then a reading by Reverend Judy Hardy from Louis Ward's Early Wellington, describing a service held here in September of 1839. Of course, at that time, they only had to contend with the wind and not the traffic noise. A hymn, a responsive prayer, and the Bishop's blessing conclude our service.
Creating, redeeming, and giving you life, be with you now and forever. Amen.
Bishop Tom leads the group along the foreshore, following the road to the Hutt River estuary. Initially, the route follows the road, and so is accompanied by noise and hazard from the traffic. When we reach the Hutt River, we are able to use the subway to leave the road and instead enjoy the pleasant greenery of the stop bank and the Shandon golf course. As the group progresses, more people join. Some will walk only part of the distance, but others will complete the whole journey. As the group leaves the golf course, it is able to use the pedestrian overbridge alongside the railway at Ava to cross the river and continue our journey using the stop bank on the eastern side. At this point, the weather is still overcast and cool, with a light breeze, but walking conditions are quite pleasant. The first leg finishes with a comfort stop at St James's Church in Lower Hutt, where a welcome cuppa and food await. Refreshed, the pilgrims continue the second leg of their journey along the stop bank by Riverbank Park, making their way eventually up the river to Ewan Park. At this point, the riverbank widens to include more grass and trees, and the walkers feel more like they are in the country rather than the city. The second leg finishes at Fairway Drive, Avalon, where more marchers join the happy band. By this time, the weather has warmed up, and some of our pilgrims are feeling the heat. By the time the leading walkers arrive at Fraser Park, the group has divided into small bunches of pilgrims spread out over about a kilometre and taking up to 20 minutes to pass a point. By this time, the pace has slowed a bit, and our pilgrims enter the city streets once more at Taita, where they make their way to Christ's Church, Wellington's oldest church, dating from 1854. Here, the sun finally emerges to welcome the pilgrims to an enjoyable and refreshing lunch under the trees.
Here's a weary pilgrim.
After a suitable break, groups of pilgrims begin again, walking along the Eastern Hut Road past Taita College. Again, some new pilgrims have joined the group, while others continue their journey. By the time the pilgrims reach Stokes Valley, our group has become very well spread out, taking more than half an hour to pass a given point. We are joined in this stretch by a number of people who are simply out for a walk in the lovely winter sunshine. By now, the weather has warmed up nicely and it has turned into a beautiful day. On through the Taita Gorge to the Silverstream Bridge. Here, the route rejoins the road briefly after passing through some beautiful riverside scenery. Any who are feeling the strain can take a time out on the bus. Others join the march at this point, including one in a wheelchair. Passing the Hiratonga Golf Course and Trentham Memorial Park, the walk takes place in bright sunshine. Here, as before, many local people are also taking the chance for a walk outside on this brilliant winter's afternoon. By the time we reach Moonshine Park, the pilgrims are even more spread out. This last leg has slowed the pace, but clearly the walkers are still enjoying it. The final leg continues along Moonshine Road to the parish hall at St John's, Trentham. This is the oldest church in the area that has been used continuously for worship since it was built in 1863. Here the weary pilgrims enjoy a cuppa, hot soup, food and a chance to rest the legs and look at historical photos and displays. Following the afternoon tea, a service was held in the church at St John's to round off the day.